Otafest listeners, and welcome to the newest episode of the podcast. I'm Jay.
I'm Alfred.
Behfar.
Behfar is here.
Also known as Dave to some people, for some
Dave.
reason.
What?
Yeah.
People call me, I don't know.
Because Bay sounds like Dave somehow.
People, I don't know. People on the phone just call me,
in an intonation.
Call me Dave randomly. It's really annoying. It's happened in person twice.
They just see an ethnic name and they just mentally.
Well, they ask me what my name is. I'm like, it's Behfar. And like, oh, Dave? And I'm like, sure. That's why I use your name, Alfred, whenever I make takeout orders.
Yeah, my name's not that easy to remember sometimes either.
But it's unique.
I get Albert.
It's
a lot.
unique, and it's
Sure.
still like English.
Okay, it's very English. It's too English.
Yeah, it's more white than my name.
Yeah. Anyways, that was a great start.
That's all right.
Before we go on too far, I'd like to thank our sponsors for this episode, Pattison Advertising and World One Gaming. We'll tell you a little bit about World One later, and
we'll get into Pattison. We'll get into what they're doing. But.
Exactly. Alfred, if you'd like to go ahead.
Sure. Thanks for making it out to see us at Kelowna FX. And by the time this episode will be out, that con will be over. But currently, we're in the middle of talking with our team who's at Kelowna, and they're having a ton of fun. It was fantastic to see new faces and introduce our convention to many more people. Hope to see you all at Otafest 2019. Just everything I've seen from that convention so far is really cool. So you can find us in the exhibition hall at the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo on April 25th to 28th. There will be special previews and promotions available, so please make sure to pop by. In case you missed it, we've added cosplay guest Kalsara to our guest roster. She'll be hosting her own panels and guest judging C4. Please visit otafest.com/guests for more information. We would like to thank Pattison Advertising for helping us get the word out about Otafest. Keep your eyes out for our ads next time you take the C train. I personally think it's super exciting whenever we see ads for like a convention. Like I've been in Edmonton like prior to Amathon, and seeing their bus ads is really cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's. I mean, bus ads and transit ads have been around forever, but it's kind of just. I think that cons take it to a more creative level usually.
I feel like it's
more
also
colorful. You know,
it's also for me. It's like I'm not used to an ad being relevant to my interests.
Exactly.
So when I see one, I'm
that's
like,
true
hey.
too. Like, did you guys want to be medical technicians? Yeah, because that's what
it's like
all about.
Stop hogging the seats. Don't be a. What was the thing? Okay.
They have those the seat. Calgary Transit has like a cute, kind of cool.
Don't
and
be a terrible
effective.
taco.
No. It's like that, but it's like don't be a badass bunny or something like that. Which is like stop standing in the way of the entrance or whatever like that. Like
don't be a horrible.
It's a nice campaign.
It's kind of like the what Cineplex has too. Like don't be a Susie Seat Kicker or a Tommy Texter.
It's probably the same.
Probably
advertising company.
Maybe it's Pattison.
Yeah.
No. Well,
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Well, either way, I have very good etiquette on the bus. You don't need to tell me to give up my seat.
It's not relevant to me.
When was the
not
last time you took a bus?
A couple days ago.
Why?
I wanted to get downtown, and I live quite close to
I
downtown.
wanted to get from point A to point B.
Yeah, Jay, that's kind of what buses are for.
With a couple stops in between. Point A to point P.
Anyways, it's only 52 days until Otafest. Why have you not bought your ticket? I'm not angry. I'm merely disappointed. Buy your weekend pass at an early bird price online via otafest.com/tickets now. Go do it. I'm very disappointed in you that you haven't.
Or,
you bring great dishonor.
Buy at a comic expo and don't have to pay online fees. That works too.
Yeah, come to Comic
That's
Expo,
true.
come see us.
But that's going to be in a whole month from now. So
Yep. You got both options.
the problem is that you'd have I'm not saying don't go to Expo.
Yeah, but you're buying an Expo
but you
pass.
have to pay your $100 or whatever.
If you happen to already be going to Expo
and you want to spend another $50,
we'll take it from you.
Hey man,
that was the best ad. For buying
relevant to everyone's interests.
Wow.
Everybody's spending
money.
money.
We'll take your money and we'll exchange it for goods and services, specifically a ticket to Otafest.
Mostly services.
Yes.
Mostly services. Okay. Yeah. All right. So we've got some kind of heavier
Let's
stuff.
talk about stuff.
Lots of stuff, actually, because
this
the
is
very
the
first one is like
That's
heavy.
the big one. Yeah.
Disney has finished acquiring Fox's properties that they bought. What was it, like 6 months ago, something like that?
Nah,
maybe a little bit longer.
Well, the deal was closed a couple of days ago.
Yes,
so.
but I mean, like the process for the purchase was about 6 months ago. I want to say,
yeah, something like that. I don't know. It was kind of funny because everyone was like, "This is really bad because this is a horrible monopoly that's going to take over the entertainment industry." But other people were like, as long as it's not Comcast. Please don't let Comcast buy
Yeah.
them. Like,
I think
This is 21st Century Fox, not like Fox News, right?
21st Century Fox, yeah.
Okay.
well, Fox News is part of that.
Is it?
No, it's not.
Fox
it's not.
News. No, Fox News is not part of the purchase. Fox News was a possible property that could have been purchased.
Yeah, the Murdochs didn't want to give it up.
No. No,
brings in,
no, for the clarification of they didn't buy Fox News, but Fox News was a property that not necessarily was up for bidding or anything, but I'm just saying it's with them. It's the same entity.
I don't think Disney wants to associate with Fox News, and plus,
they have no
scared and racist Americans are a very good market. So
yeah.
This is actually, to me, interesting because Disney also is launching their Netflix competitor.
Yeah, we've talked about that
Fox
before. They're going to have so much content, basically, that honestly, I'd be surprised if more households in 5 years from now don't have Disney Plus as opposed to Netflix, because Netflix is now going the way of instead of having acquiring licenses,
they're focusing on originals.
Original content. They're for the first time, I think their next season essentially is influxing with more original content.
I think if they do launch their streaming service, it might not even have the Disney name on it, but it will. But it will have all the Disney content and the Fox content and stuff, right?
But the big thing, so the two big pieces of news that's related to this is on the positive side, you're going to see a lot of brand unification. We've talked about it before, where X-Men is now in the fold within the Marvel universe, which is X-Men was always Marvel, but we've never seen the Hulk plus X-Men, right?
Yeah.
For example, or
the Hulk versus Cyclops.
Yeah, Deadpool is a Marvel property as well. So Deadpool, Princess Pool.
Yeah, no, they've actually kind of signaled that they want to keep doing Deadpool in his current form.
And when
as
that's
well.
really interesting,
they're
right?
rebooting all of X-Men, but not Deadpool.
Yeah, because what they did was the day the merger happened, they published a new splash image on the front page of Disney.com.
Yeah,
and Deadpool was on that image.
Yeah.
With the Ryan Reynolds Deadpool, right? So they're not going to touch it, I think. So,
but the bad thing right now that everyone's really talking about is how many layoffs.
Multiple bad things.
How many layoffs there's going to be in this merger?
Thousands of jobs, from what I hear.
Thousands of jobs
across
so many of their publishing companies and productions. Essentially,
you got to keep in mind though, what this will do to Hollywood, right? Because when one company controls 27% of the movie market, which is effectively what they do now, 27% of the entire American movie market now belongs to Disney, which is ridiculous. But when 27% of everyone working in Hollywood basically gets reshuffled, think about the fallout of that, right? I think a lot of people aren't even thinking, but they hear thousands of jobs. No, it's a complete sea change for the industry.
It is,
right?
For anyone who's kind of not aware, all you have to do is to understand the scope of what Disney owns. There's a couple of infographics out there. Literally, you can just Google Disney brand infographic, and there are ones where it just shows you all the names of the brands that you didn't think that Disney owned, for example, and realize that how far their reach is and how deep their fingers reach.
Is that not super similar to the food industry right now?
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Food, well, I mean, there's that whole is that there's
Nestle owns so much, yeah.
So much.
And human rights violations on top of that too. But let's not get into that.
No. but people understanding the fact that there's just there's this whole thing about if you're, I don't want to call it really conspiracy theory because it's very factual that there's only a handful of companies globally that
it's the modern
literally control every
Yeah.
brand.
No, it's not even the Illuminati. There's a word for it: oligarch.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
the world is an oligarchy. It's that's what you get with global capitalism.
Yeah.
Right?
Like,
anyways, we're not going to launch into this because I'm going to go on a rant. But yeah.
Thank you for realizing that. But no, it's just if you're ever interested, it's pretty cool, but it's also kind of terrifying if you're aware.
Right.
If you're woke.
If you're woke, I was going to say.
This is also going to affect the Star Wars plans from now on too. Because Fox used to own a big chunk of Star Wars. Even after Disney bought the rights to it, they still own the rights to the original movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like episode 4 was owned by Fox. Even after
I'm
the
surprised
Disney
they didn't
buyout.
like just wrest control from there. From that.
It was
or,
no, it was because the contract that was signed in 1977 when George Lucas first made the movie was that 20th Century Fox would have distribution rights for that movie for all time.
Oh,
Yeah, but now Disney actually owns it. So remaster of the original cuts, theatrical cuts on
Keep
Blu-ray,
dreaming,
please.
Alfred.
Yeah, I know.
Alfred, please.
I know.
He's like, please let it happen. Let it happen. We're like, maybe in the next lifetime.
Yeah, give me Star Wars, please. Okay. Anyways,
More Disney related stuff. Of course, Toy Story 4's trailer was released.
hell yes.
I think a lot of people are
I was
actually excited.
not ready for it.
I wasn't ready either. I
I don't
wasn't
think a
expecting
lot of
it.
people were ready. Like I didn't expect it to come out so soon for the trailer.
The
for one
themes it's tackling are interesting to me because it's like the main character is a spork with like googly eyes glued on it.
Yes.
And he becomes a toy and sentient because he's loved by a girl. And then
Which
like
kind of makes sense, right?
It
Like
does.
a toy. The idea that a toy is a toy because it's being played with.
yes, but oh god, Behfar, please don't go there. Anyways,
It's already there.
yeah. I'm just like, this raises a whole bunch of like philosophical and existential problems for the other toys.
Well-
If a toy is not loved, is it really alive? Are any of us really alive if we're not loved?
Unfortunately,
Nobody's
I'm
thinking that.
alive, but I don't think I'm loved.
Okay, I don't
So
know.
there you go.
I was in a really weird state of mind when I watched that trailer. Apparently, so
Fair.
Yep.
I was talking with Lindsay about it, and she was telling, like, she's calling it right now that Woody's gonna have to choose between Bonnie and Bo.
Yep. Probably.
There's gonna be a choice to be made there.
Yep. I don't know. I
And
think
I don't think anyone cares about Bo.
it's a really cool idea to set it.
I think people
yeah.
care less about Bonnie.
That's
Bonnie's
even
the-
worse because
yeah.
I don't think most people
Yeah,
care about
she
Bo.
was the replacement for Andy, and that was like but she was like a thematic replacement, and that was
Yeah,
it,
I
right?
thought 3 was like the end of the series.
Oh god,
I honestly,
yeah.
I was okay if 3 was like.
It's also a
They
cash
didn't
cow.
need 2 either, though. Like each of those movies is so well contained that they don't need sequels, right? But like it's just better that we get sequels.
Let me put it this way: when it came to 4, the announcement of 4, I was kind of upset because I was like, "Can we just like not go like?" So I
Like,
feel
they're gonna
some
keep
things need
producing
to
them
have
till
an
they
end.
suck.
Yeah.
And then I don't want to see it suck.
That's the other problem.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's just. I'm not saying 2 was that great. I liked 3, but like, it's not about whether you like them or not. In a sense, it's almost just like, can you just like self-contain this universe at some point?
I think
and
out
not-
of the
and not
3 current ones, 2's my favorite, though. So
2's your favorite?
yeah, I love 2.
What happened in 2? I don't remember.
Choose the one with the prospector and
Oh,
Jesse.
So
yeah,
yeah,
okay,
Woody
yeah,
gets kidnapped by a toy collector.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
And
But three's my the best one because
Yeah.
Buzz is so hilarious in that one.
Buzz,
Yeah,
he
it's so
dances
good.
and he's
Yeah.
got like, that whole thing. That is so
like
good.
yeah. The salsa, like
yeah.
the language thing,
Right?
Yeah.
I think setting this one in a theme park is like the coolest thing, though. Like that's such a good idea for storytelling wise.
I just kind of hope that they don't like beat it to death like Cars did. Like the first Cars I didn't hate, but then like I think the other ones.
Cars
just
2 and
died
Beyond
hard.
was just meh.
What
Yeah.
you didn't want to see Lightning McQueen get into
Planes.
an accident and have like
Oh.
a life, like a midlife crisis.
I mean, it's a car.
Was that Cars 4?
I feel like it's too real for some people.
Does Lightning McQueen take out life insurance or car insurance?
Get out, Alfred.
Yeah.
Just leave.
Okay, sorry.
Goodbye. Turn off your mic.
I don't even know if that was a deep question. Like I was just kind of like, who the hell cares?
I care.
Clearly, yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not, and you know, with my opinions on again, like either just the trilogy being the trilogy. I'm not saying that 4 is going to be bad. In fact, I'm probably going to have fun. It's probably good. Like they want to make good content, especially with an IP like Toy Story. But it's just, I don't know. I'm also just really happy to have things be what they are in one universe. Just be happy.
Yep. What was there another movie trailer that came out like a couple of days ago that was
There's probably many.
no that was like notable that like everyone was
The
talking
other
about.
Endgame trailer?
No, did we talk about the second Detective Pikachu trailer yet? Did we talk about that?
I think we did.
We did. Okay.
Yeah, because I've been keeping abreast of Pokemon.
Detective Pikachu. Okay. The Endgame trailer.
I watched. Honestly, they're
The
all
Aladdin trailer?
To
The
me,
Aladdin trailer. Let's talk about that. Yes, the Aladdin
okay,
trailer.
Fine.
Sorry, Jay.
No, it's fine.
I've done it.
I don't know if I've watched it. I might have.
I've done a complete 180 on the movie now. I'm now excited for it.
Are you?
Yes.
I cannot get over.
Blue
This is
Will
gonna make no.
Smith.
This is gonna make no sense to anybody listening. But I cannot get over like the end of the trailer where there's that like the drum beats.
Yeah.
And it goes into like the whole new world.
Yeah.
I like when it first happened, I thought it was going into a Gwen Stefani song, and I was just waiting
Yeah,
for.
that's
I
right,
was
you made
waiting
it,
for
I
it, and I made an edit. I made a cut of it.
Yeah, yeah,
to,
yeah.
to cut it. That song.
I
It was
saw-
so good.
No, it works.
I-
Yeah. No, it just.
I
okay.
don't know if
good.
I did. I remember seeing it now. I
just
don't know
glad
if I care.
I'm just glad Will Smith is not blue for the entire movie.
He's not?
Yeah,
He's
you
not.
know, I
Okay.
just hate the idea of Blueface. There's just so much
Yeah.
disrespect
No, but, like,
to
the-
Eiffel 65
The Blue Man Group, you mean?
and Blue Man Group.
The whole. Oh my god.
Wow, I'm sorry.
No, but okay. Here's the thing. Everybody's upset. Not everybody. A lot of people are upset about Will Smith.
Everybody.
Many people are.
Many
Every
people
human
are
in
upset
existence.
about Will Smith being the genie, but because of the whole Robin Williams thing. But I think that Will Smith is a smart enough actor and a smart enough person
That he
to
wouldn't
pay
have
a
taken the
good
role?
tribute to Robin Williams.
And he's gonna do his own thing anyways.
Yeah.
Like everything we've seen of Genie in this trailer has not been very Robin Williams esque.
He's definitely added a Will Smith touch to it, for sure.
And I'm totally fine with that, right? Because the movie is different from the animated. Like we just have to get
Yeah.
over that. It is a live action remake, but it's different.
So
right?
I want to
like you can't lock away the whole series.
Exactly.
on a similar tangent to that is like, so has the Lion King movie come out yet?
Not
Yeah,
yet.
no, the trailer has.
Yeah, it's on in May, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think
excited.
so. I don't think the Lion King movie. I don't think I'm gonna like it. I might watch it. I'm not sure yet, but I don't think I'm gonna like it for one very simple reason, and I might have brought it up before, which is basically, so the story itself is gonna be fine, and I don't care that the graphics are like this live CGI look.
Yeah.
The thing that I care about is losing the expression of character. So like
Yep.
Simba, not a big deal. He's not that expressive. But you have like Rafiki, you have Timon and Pumbaa. They're very animated. Like it's
Like their facial
It's a lot
expressions?
of physical humor with them.
Yeah, yeah,
it's a
yeah.
lot of like that. I don't know if that's going to translate to
Yeah.
like, haha, realistic looking baboon, with a little stick. Like it just doesn't.
It's still gonna be stylized though.
but it's.
Yeah.
That's
a
the
macaque.
problem. That's the problem.
He's a macaque. Yeah, he's a macaque, isn't he?
Whatever.
I thought
Sorry.
it was a
yeah.
baboon.
Anyways, but yeah,
But the problem is, like, I just don't see that transition being good. And I'm not saying they haven't thought about it. Like, obviously, there's entire
yeah.
teams working on these
Yeah.
to make them good. But it's like, with Aladdin, there's more stylized CGI, so that's
Yeah.
totally fine. But with, like, Lion King, I
Yeah.
just don't see it. Like, I can't
Right.
think of how... like Pumbaa runs around and bumps into stuff, and like the
Well,
hyenas being.
So for me,
very,
there's
like,
two things. Like number one, I'm inherently biased because I'm a huge fan of Lion King. I think I'm gonna like this
because
movie
I am a
regardless.
lion.
in my heart of hearts.
Yeah.
And number two, I think just like by virtue of the fact that it's Disney, I think they have a lot of attention to detail.
yeah, they're not gonna mess it up because they're not allowed to mess it up.
Sure, but I mean,
basically.
like Sarah hated Cinderella, right?
yeah, but for different reasons. Like no, the movie
Oh,
was
it's not talking about the facial expressions of furry CGI animals. I see.
Yeah.
Different
No, but
reasons.
like,
yeah.
okay. So the quick Cinderella thing was because they had changed the character motivations. It had nothing to do with like the movie
Okay.
making or anything. Okay,
But that's something that you would think that they would pay attention to as well, right? And then
well,
like,
no,
if
because
there's-
again, it's different, right? Like they're going to remake the aesthetic of it, and
Yeah,
they're going to translate
from
it.
what I understand, the Lion King remake, the story is the exact same.
no, but
Yeah.
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that like we're making this one assumption, and I made that assumption as well, that we're like, well, they've got these people in place that are going to give a shit,
Right.
but then. As you were saying, like they
Yeah.
changed their motivations, and then like, well,
Yeah, but-
isn't that something core
Sorry,
to the
like-
character?
Yeah, keep in
literally,
mind though,
right,
not
that you would-
everyone hated Cinderella. Only Sarah hated Cinderella because
Only
it was,
just like everybody, like
Everybody hates the genie.
hates the genie, and only Sarah hated Cinderella.
Talking in absolutes. That's
We're
the theme
all
for today.
about
no,
absolutes.
no,
Sarah
hold on,
is
hold on.
one of the few people who dislike.
So
it.
I think
Sorry, it's just
let
funny to
me kind of refine my statement then.
Yeah.
I think that like there's always the possibility that it's not going to go over well. I just think the possibility is a
Yep.
small one, and Cinderella just happens
Because-
to have hit that small chance
because
of it not going
this
over well.
this can go two ways. This can either go Detective Pikachu or it can go Sonic, right? And it's
wanna-
not going to go Sonic because Disney won't let it go Sonic.
But I want to point out one last example, which is so Mulan hasn't come out yet,
Right.
No. But we know several things about the Mulan movie. For example, I can't remember his name right now. The little dragon is not going to be in.
Mushu?
Mushu?
Yeah, Smushu. Yeah.
He's not going to be in there.
Why are we even watching this movie?
I think they said that I don't think songs are making it into the movie.
The plan has changed. So it's going to be a musical again because people got really up in arms. Because originally,
I was like, if I can't be in the theater to sing, I will make a man out of you.
It was originally going to be like a family-friendly like war epic, which I would have really enjoyed because like as much as Mulan is awesome and like I love the songs, I love
only Alfred.
I was about to say only Alfred would have enjoyed that.
No, I'm totally down with that. Like there's not enough cool war movies set in China. There's not enough of those.
In Hollywood,
you're
not watching. You don't watch enough Chinese channels.
Yeah, because they all suck. All those movies made
Tell
in
them
like,
that.
Yeah, well, I will. Hey, Hong Kong. Hey, mainland China, your movie industry sucks.
Oh God! Oh my God! Your social credit just went. Wait,
whatever.
Alfred gets detained in China.
Yeah, exactly. He wakes up the next morning and he's just like, "You can't go anywhere." Yeah. Anyways,
I think they know it too. They know it too. But anyways, like. Because they keep trying to make Hollywood movies like in China with limited budgets, right? Now you have Disney, who's actually taking an actual Chinese folk tale and like giving it like the respect it deserves.
What was that movie like 3 years ago with Matt Damon where he was like
Great Wall?
Yeah.
Yes. I remember that.
What?
He did a movie in China under a Chinese studio, and he was like lone white. It was essentially like The Last Samurai,
God.
but like way worse.
Okay, so the premise of this movie was that the reason the Chinese built the Great Wall wasn't to keep the Mongols out; it was to keep the monsters out.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be. It wasn't to keep the Mongols out.
No,
it was to keep the Chinese.
No,
in.
it was like it was.
You think I'm trapped in here? I'm trapped in here with you? No,
you're trapped in here with me. There was literally like giant kaijus from Pacific Rim attacking China. Yeah. So that's why they built.
But there's only one man.
I remember hearing of this.
Yeah, and there's only one man that can save them.
Yeah, and then
Matt Damon.
And then Matt Damon was the one who could save us all. Oh my God!
We owe 5,000 years of history to Matt Damon.
You know what sucks too? That movie was made by Zhang Yimou, who did Hero. Curse of the Golden Flower.
Oh no!
Yeah, he was the one who did that movie, and I was like, "Are you serious, dude?"
Yeah. Anyways,
okay. Anyways,
but like the Mulan thing, I just want to point out that that's like another example of them like changing things around. That like I'm not saying they can't. Yeah. They're not allowed. It's their property,
right?
But like if you're going to like say, "Oh, it's going to be live action," and I get the appeal behind that, does it have to deviate much, or should it deviate at all?
If it was a shot-for-shot remake,
it depends on their target audience, right? I mean, like, it's a choice that everyone makes. Like, let's take, for example, Reboot, right?
Oh, God. Talk about the reboot.
Yeah.
Well, no, but like,
I've heard things.
It's terrible, first of all. It's actually the worst thing I've ever not seen. But I've heard terrible things about it.
There's many not things I've seen.
Yeah. But no, like, so you have the choice of either appealing to the original audience or appealing to new audience. Sometimes it overlaps, sometimes it doesn't.
And that's totally fair.
That's the choice to make. That's the creative, like that's a choice for the creative director and the marketing team or whatever to make for that movie. And it's a choice made basically on a story by story basis.
Right. Okay. So just to bring this up, Sarah didn't like Cinderella, but really loved the live action Beauty and the Beast.
Sure.
Because that was almost a shot for shot remake, right?
That's what it sounds like. That's what she's looking for.
Exactly. Right. So I mean, there is a market for that, but I also feel that it's like, if you're a filmmaker, you have a responsibility to put your mark on that, right? Like you just making a movie shot for shot, remaking a movie shot for shot is boring, right? Like, and to me, I think Cinderella, like the only not Cinderella, sorry, Beauty and the Beast. I think the only thing that would have kept me interested in that movie would be to see how they translate animated to live action costume design. Or something.
You know what I think they should do is there should be a requirement for if you're going to remake a movie, you have to change the genre.
Yeah,
I want to see a Hunchback of Notre Dame psychological thriller.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it was in the original.
Or a Hunchback of Notre Dame, like car chase action movie.
Hunchback is a movie they should remake.
I really want them to remake Hunchback.
Damn, they should remake Hunchback.
But I want the songs. I 100% want the songs.
Holy crap! Yes,
I want the song. I want them a la like Jonathan Young style, like metal version,
like epic kind of symphonic metal. Yeah, that'd be great, actually. Yeah, I think Hunchback has one of the most underrated Disney soundtracks. No one ever really thinks about Hunchback as like a great Disney movie with great songs, but it's
I'm in that boat.
It's up
for
there.
Hercules.
Hercules is up there too.
Hercules
I
is
agree with the
actually a
soundtrack.
really fun movie.
Yeah.
And it's got
I'm not
really
a
good
fan of
songs.
the movie. I'm a fan of the songs though.
The songs are good. Yeah, the movie is like, I mean, it's Hercules' story, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not
Yeah.
Anyways,
in the cartoon form.
just going back to Aladdin real quick here. I was just really impressed with the costume design, and like it was Bollywood without being campy. You know what I mean?
Oh,
they
back
fix his
to
bald
the
cap?
trailer?
Will Smith's?
Yeah.
Yes, it doesn't look as bad.
Okay.
But
Wait. He's wearing a...
He's wearing a bald cap.
I
There was
thought-
a whole...
Isn't Will Smith... No, I guess he sometimes has hair.
he might have
People
shaved his
got...
head
People
off.
sometimes has...
No, he does. He shaves, too.
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
I just don't see the
Just
purpose
that
of a bald
statement.
cap, then.
No. Okay, no. So what happened was with the first, like, the sneak peek or
Will
whatever...
Smith bald is what I'm Googling
people were real up in arms about, like, how you could even see the bald cap.
Yeah.
Especially the cosplay community, unsurprisingly.
Because the CG is not done yet.
Yeah.
Just give it time. It's okay.
Well, no, sorry, I didn't mean that as like a way to like. I'm not trying to speak down on the cosplay community. I
Right.
just mean like, of course they're the ones who knows because they're the ones who care about
Yeah,
details like
exactly.
that. They're the ones who, when you
Exactly,
make a costume,
yeah.
you have to pay attention to that kind of thing.
But okay, well then again, people were really mad about Superman's like CGI'd mustache or whatever.
What?
Okay, so Henry Cavill,
Unacceptable.
Henry Cavill at the time was filming a movie where he had to have a mustache, so he didn't want to shave it for Superman. So they undid his
CGI'd.
mustache.
Do mustache wigs exist?
Probably.
Do you mean fake mustaches?
I suppose so.
Mustache wigs.
I don't know. Like, what's the difference between a wig and a toupee? Why does a toupee get
That's a
its
good
own
question
name?
too. I don't know.
A wig is temporary. A toupee is an application.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
Like
but yeah.
there's like glue or whatever.
anyways,
okay.
adhesive.
real yeah, the costume design on Aladdin is really cool. It's super colorful. I love it. The costume designs actually are different from the animated, but they look
That's fine.
really nice.
No.
I'm really into like the genie's outfit.
Genie's outfit is amazing. Jasmine's new outfit is fucking amazing, and like the
Is there-
cinematography looks amazing too.
Yeah,
Just-
yeah,
Is a poo there?
Apu?
Abu? You mean?
Abu?
Apu is the guy from The Simpsons.
Oh, it is.
Yes, Abu is there.
Abu is there.
Abu is
So
there.
is Diego, but we haven't heard him talk. We just see him flying around.
Oh my god, can it please?
It's gonna be
Please
Gilbert
let it
Gottfried.
be Gilbert-
It's gonna be Gilbert
please.
Gottfried. It's gonna be Gilbert Gottfried.
What if
Gilbert
it's no?
Gottfried?
It'd be great if it's not Gilbert Gottfried, but it's someone who at one point references him and tries to make like
Make it sound like him?
Make him sound like because nobody sounds
It's like Gilbert Gottfried. You know what I'm fully expecting? I'm fully expecting like the entire movie, the parrot doesn't talk, and then there's an after credits scene.
She's like, what?
Exactly.
Right?
You want a cracker?
a crack at you?
Right to the ad read.
Yeah, no one can do GG's voice.
No.
Speaking of G, Google is a thing, but
But before we get to Google,
I guess before we get to Google, we have a sponsor, World One Gaming.
World One is a gaming brand that has expanded into all avenues of gaming culture. Be it events, streaming, or merchandise, they have become an integral part of Calgary's gaming and bar communities. World One's team has been working hard at creating a brick-and-mortar space that can help house all forms of gamers. With your support, World One can grow into one of Canada's most dedicated gamer hubs. Contact info at world1arcade.ca.
Alfred, take it away. So
talking
thanks-
about Google,
yeah, thanks. Well, talking
Thanks.
about gaming in
Can
general.
we do... Okay, sorry. I have one more thing to bring up for movies. Did
Okay.
you see the new John Wick trailer?
No, I didn't know there was a
I
new
want.
trailer.
I didn't. Yeah, what?
There's a
watch
new
it
one.
after. We'll watch it
after. Okay.
So we're not
talk
gonna talk about that, but
next
we'll
week.
watch
Post credit scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Google.
Google
Gaming.
announced Google Stadia. Stadia
Uh-huh.
is Italian for stadium. I don't know why that's relevant, but it is.
like to pick
And it's
names
going to
like
be a cloud-based streaming service for games.
Game,
so
yeah.
Yet
it's
another
not that
one.
you're it's not that you're going to get it from a hub, for example, like from Steam or Epic or something like that. You're going to have they're putting out a console that's not as beefy strong, I believe, but it's like
Because it doesn't have to be.
yeah, its major purpose is to be able just to process the game quickly.
It's a streaming box.
It's a streaming box, and it's gonna all the gaming
All the
content is
processing
gonna
and the
become from
rendering
the cloud.
It's done on Google's data centers.
Even theoretically, you can run this on a phone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So-
So their actual thing was saying like if it can run Chromecast, it should be able to play.
Yep.
That's their
Yep.
goal, I guess, with providing the service. I have
Video games as a
several-
service.
Several strong problems with the service.
I think a lot of people do. But
and it's in general, because this is not the first time it's been attempted.
No.
Let's be honest. But Google is one of the companies that can do it alongside Microsoft and maybe Amazon, because they have the server, the infrastructure to do it. Mm-hmm. But the number one thing, first and foremost, is the fact that while your console may be cheaper, you are no longer owning the game. You're streaming the game, which means they control their information. And you know what? I'm not worried about that, because they already control from my information. I've given that up like a long time ago, right? But the thing is like you what happens is like it's that concern about having to be connected to the internet all the time just to play a game. Mm-hmm. There are times where I want to play a game because I don't have internet.
Yep.
Right?
Agreed.
But in this scenario, there's no way you're going to be able to play your games, because if this is your only system that you have the ability to play games on, you better live in an urban center.
It's a little too all or nothing, is what you're saying.
It is.
Yeah. The urban center thing, we were talking about this like right before the podcast. It's like, I don't think there's any places that have the infrastructure yet to do this.
Like San Francisco,
well,
LA.
Like tech centers do.
Yeah. Well, no. So sorry. Let me ask you, because Google actually just released the bandwidth requirements from their tests.
Okay.
What do you think the up and down speed you would need would be to stream a 1080p game at 60 FPS using Stadia?
1080p is not that bad. It's when you get to 4K, which is something that
no one's going to be streaming in 4K. No. I don't think so.
Well, no. Just to put a pause on this real quick, they did advertise that they're going to go to 4K. They're going to go up to 8K as necessary.
But that's why I'm
their benchmark test for this was 1080p 60 FPS. So what do you think the download upload requirement?
Probably not very high.
I think it's
500K to 1 meg down to like 500.
I think it's 2.
I'd say
megs. Yeah, it's actually 25 megabits down and up, which is that's covered,
dude.
Or sorry, down.
It
down.
Is.
Okay, because it's 25.
I know, that's a lot. It's covered by almost every internet plan, at least in Calgary.
Okay, but see, here's
that's not like your budget. But
it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, the system can still go down and then you have nothing.
And all the network,
well, it's true, but
all the network geeks are probably cringing right now because there's so many other factors like latency.
Oh, 100%.
All that stuff.
They developed their own controller because right now they're worried about input latency as well.
So what's interesting though is that a lot of experts have come out saying that the latency shouldn't be noticeable, because like most HD TVs, when you hook up consoles to them, have latency anyways, provided that you're not using game mode.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, so many people forget to switch to game mode on their HD TVs, right? So it might not even make a difference to the majority of people.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
The other things are very simple in nature. Just the idea that you, like, aside from all or nothing, is you don't really own your game. You're renting your game, and you can argue about like how copyright works and how
you can argue that with
works.
Steam as well.
You can, but at the end of the day, like again, back to the all or nothing argument, is I can still play most of my games unless they're like Counter-Strike or Rocket League, where I don't really want to play against.
I think
computers, right?
My problem with this is a little more pragmatic in the sense that if you stream a game, you're right, you don't physically own it, but like even if I don't physically own, like, say, a game on Steam, right? The data is still on my hard drive. I can do things to it. I could mod it, right?
Well,
so their counter argument to that is, by virtue of the data not being there, they can also prevent hacking and cheating.
Okay, yeah, but what if I'm
playing a single player game? Because one of the games they demoed was Odyssey. Well, Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah.
Why do you care? Like to the company, right? Because it's not. There's no multiplayer functionality. So if I cheat, let me cheat on my own. You know what I mean? Like there's too much control taken away from the consumer, which is why I don't like it. Even if you take away cheating, think about patches. There are patches that are known to be, just because they're pushed out doesn't mean they're not buggy or shitty or like there's a balance change that you don't like.
Yeah.
What if I want to play on this patch?
Well, I
don't have that choice anymore.
Yeah. To be fair though, this will be a little easier to do patches, I think, because patches all have to go through approval process with publishers like Sony, Microsoft, all have a different. Patch.
But the thing is, like, as a player, is if I don't want that patch. I have no choice.
My big counterpoint to that, and it's probably an unpopular opinion. It's not an opinion I agree with myself either, but just to bring it up, is that Google doesn't care, because this is not the way, like, hacking and not hacking in the sense of like hacking a multiplayer game, but like hacking your own game to or like patching your own game or modding your own game to play the way you want, for instance.
Yep.
As much as that's great for you, it's not the way that the publisher had intended the game to be played. Yep. While I agree, or while I disagree with that myself, I love modding my Sims or modding my single player games.
Yeah.
I fully also acknowledge that
the creators had an intent for this.
Exactly.
For this game.
So can I bring up something else that
it's not like a right.
It kind of ties back into my whole the data needs to be on the hard drive thing.
Sure.
We know that PT, that old demo of Silent Hills, is no longer available, right? PS4s containing PT have been going on eBay for way more than the $400 that the PS4s are worth. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I can't play it because I still have to go through an authentication process with Sony. But who's to say in 10 years someone's going to extract that data, reverse engineer it, and then now we get an archival version of PT in a museum or something, right?
Yeah.
A lot of it was the playable demo of Silent Hills.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of games like that, right? The moment you go completely cloud, you lose all your archival integrity as well, right?
You basically there's so many downsides.
Yeah, it's so geeky of me to say that, but
to the consumer not being able to at least feel like you own what you're paying for. Because that's the other thing. We know this. Google is famous for starting a lot of projects and dropping them.
125 at this point in time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Have been dropped.
Jeez.
Including Google Glass and the
some of them
Chromecast
are different
audio.
development cycles, right? I mean, some of them were just barely ever going to be a product. Some of them were like Google Plus, where they're very clearly a consumer product.
Chromecast audio was dropped. That's the most recent one.
Right?
Wow. Yeah.
And then, I'm not saying anything like they have every right to do so. I understand why they do it. It's not perfect, but it's absolutely understandable why they want to drop projects they feel just aren't working for them. But that's what happened. Think about I'm going to buy this box. I'm going to buy this controller. I'm going to buy access to this game. And then in 3 years, I will never be able to play that game ever again.
Right.
On this thing that I purchased. That box will become way useless.
I feel like just thinking about that for a moment, the projects that Google has dropped are, I would say, pretty low price points.
Right.
The most apropos one that I can think counter to my claim is the Chromecast audio, which was just dropped.
But that was probably $30, wasn't it?
But I think that if they were to drop Stadia after a year or two of people investing in it,
at least a $200 investment.
I think the market uproar, if they wouldn't offer some kind of compensation to the people who have bought it, would be overwhelming for Google.
So what I think here is that they've announced this thing, but I think the strategy, currently they're just showing that, hey, this thing can run AAA games.
Yeah,
and it's about as good as
they
a
have
console experience.
They have licensing agreements to have first party development and everything too.
Exactly.
They're definitely not going into this blind. This is not a whimsical decision.
What I see this as is that it's going to start out as a stopgap solution. If you can't afford PC parts, but you somehow have decent internet, then this is there's tons of people out there who don't game, but they pay the highest tier of their internet
just so
ISP,
they have it,
right? So this is
I guess
perfect,
your
right?
phone and stuff. And
this is absolutely perfect
for
for that type of market, right?
Maybe.
And it's, if you pay $200 for a streaming box, it's gonna be less than a PS4, and it won't do as much as a PS4, but
the whole world is going towards cloud computing.
Exactly.
But I think we're still in agreement that the fact that this kind of person probably doesn't exist outside of urban centers. This market does not exist, because it's not that Farmer Bob out in Nowheresville doesn't want to play a game, but this is not a good service for them, I would say.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
But I don't know. I think that's the market they're gonna corner first, and then they're gonna move into the first party stuff to have killer apps, is to get people to transition. I know that I think it's gonna be a while before everyone completely drops consoles, traditional consoles and PCs. So this is going to be a stopgap solution.
So I just want to throw it out there, because I just Googled this real quick I was Googling percentage of people in urban areas, and it gave me a per country breakdown. Apparently in this is Hong Kong, but apparently in countries like Kuwait and Singapore, 100% of the population is in an urban center.
Makes total sense.
But Canada is about 81% of people. So I think, like, I understand what you're saying, but I think, again, to an organization like Google, they don't care about that extra 20%.
Yeah.
They think, like, they'll turn enough of a profit from the remaining 81%. Because you got to
I mean,
remember,
most
Google is,
most companies do anyway.
like, Google
Let's be
is,
honest.
like, as much as Google is, you know, like, and any company really, like, puts a product out for the people for the benefit of the people. At the end of the day, it comes down to the bottom line. It comes down to money, right? So if they can turn a profit, it does. Like, it's unfortunate. That's not. I'm not going to say they're going to be like fuck you to like the Farmer Bob.
Yeah.
But they don't care.
But
about
to me,
Farmer Bob.
okay. So like, I'm not trying to get down to like brass tacks about like how specific it is, but just as an example, for whatever reason, I think Olds has like Google Fiber or something. Like that. It has that like Olds is a town of maybe like 5,000 people, maybe more. I'm not entirely sure right now, but I know it's not that high. Now, is that considered an urban center first and foremost? No. Okay, so you look at the idea that you have. I understand what you're coming from, or like the majority of the populations are in urban centers. We already know this, like without really looking up the numbers. But the idea that if somebody wants to participate in this, it's like you have to be. It's no longer about a console, and it's no longer about like the gaming. It's literally about how socially developed your population is, right? Like how before they're going to install the infrastructure required for this internet access level, so that you could even begin to think about playing this.
Sure, but
I think it's funny.
My counter to that is I don't think that's Google's responsibility.
No. Well, they're trying to make it.
If they're an IP, if they're an ISP, then yes, it is.
Well, sure, but maybe. But at the I also like. They're not saying this is an accessible console, you know.
No, I know. Yeah. I'm not. No one's putting the onus is not on them to be like, "Hey, did you have good internet?"
Yeah.
It's not.
Like it's unfortunate. Of course, it's unfortunate. Like I'm not trying to like downplay the people who don't live in urban centers.
I think it all comes back down to is like all the problems that we've discussed all just revolve around the idea that like accessibility is the problem.
That is a problem that surrounds almost every cloud-based service.
Maybe, right?
Every cloud-based
Cloud-based just exacerbates like existing issues, right? Because like, you know, you're not going to get a lot of enjoyment out of your PS4 if you don't have an internet connection either, right? Like you can play games off the disc, but they'll be buggy. They'll be, you know, like with day one patches and
problem.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
that's
again,
a game development problem.
Again, but like the fact that that's a problem means that we're all moving towards cloud, right? So I think that it's a problem that will solve itself over time, right? But that's kind of what Google's counting on.
What? Okay, so obviously I've spent more time shitting on it. Like, what are the major positives other than
just the fact that it's affordable? Or relatively
I think there's way more positives than the fact that it's affordable.
Yeah.
For example, Google's data centers. You now have, like, first of all, what's the name of the graphics processor that they're running? Whatever it is, it's powerful as hell.
Yeah,
and you can, depending on your needs, you can enlist more than one.
Right.
So it's at a flat rate. Like, you're not paying extra if your game needs more resources.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So like I guess so.
You don't have to buy a 1080 Ti
if I have the bandwidth to stream like a 4K stream of like something running at max graphics, yeah, you're right. I would do it. Right?
I don't know if you saw the IO or the live release of it.
No.
Like they did a demo and their water looks realistic, which is really hard to do. Yeah. Like they had a waterfall playing in the background and they had it compared. They actually showed you a live comparison between using one of their GPUs and two.
Or anything like that?
What?
Cool.
Did you have to choose between the two like renderings essentially?
No, it was literally like a split screen. It was a split screen. And the left side was using one GPU and the right side was using two. Yeah. And the left side looked like your general, like if you're running like a 1080 at high FPS or at a high settings.
Like it looked good.
Water. It looked good. The one on the right using the two GPUs looked real.
I'm pretty sure it was water.
It looked real. Yeah.
Like it was really good. That's another thing. Like PC gaming gives you so much control over graphical options. This will not give you any control over any of that.
Yeah.
But it's always, to be fair though, it's not going to give you control, but it's also basically always going to be running at max settings.
That's true.
Based on your bandwidth.
Based on your bandwidth.
That's how, that's where the throttling comes into play, which is like stupid.
See, do I want to run max graphics all the time though? Like that's the thing, right? Like sometimes like I do actually turn down some options because they're distracting. Like I turn off motion blur and everything. Right?
Yeah, I don't love motion blur as much. You want to set your refresh rates to your monitors.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, do I have the option for that? Right? I think for refresh rates and things like that, that will be.
I'd actually argue that you do. Like
Yeah.
give me. I'm pretty sure like even now in modern like. To be fair, I don't own a modern console.
Yeah.
Like my latest console was a PS3, but I'm pretty sure in PS4 in a game you can turn motion blur on and off without touching graphics settings, right?
No.
No?
No.
Well, okay, that's why
It's
I'm a
not
PC
that common.
gamer.
It's not common. Yo, speaking of which, not specifically related, but Monster Hunter is a game I still play. One of the biggest complaints that they had was that from the console versions, it doesn't really matter as much because you can't change as many graphic settings. But on PC, obviously you can, and a lot of the textures were kind of like low res or mid res, not great, and people were really hoping for great high res, especially since we had to wait like over almost a year for the PC version. They're releasing a patch in April that's 40 gigs of high res. And everyone's just like,
See, if that had not happened though, someone would have made a texture pack.
Yeah.
I think it already exists. But
Exactly.
they already do. I've looked it up. But now the fact that they're like doing it is great.
Like officially?
Okay, this is what will convince me, okay? If they can get a copy of Skyrim that can run a full FPS.
No more Skyrim.
No, think about this.
No.
Crisis.
Okay, or like no, Skyrim. Okay? I'll
You
tell you
can't
why.
do it with Crisis. It's impossible.
If I can load Skyrim on Stadia and then like apply whatever mod I wanted at full frames
We
per
don't
second,
know. Like you might be
Yeah,
able
if
to.
I'm
They
able
might
to do
have-
that, that
they might
would
be able
convince
to.
me,
They might
I
be able to
think.
pull a Steam like mod workshop. Type
I mean,
Yeah.
honestly,
if they do that would convince me, I think.
could you not have the mods just be on your console? Would it
Maybe.
not during
But see, like,
well, that's a big thing. There's a lot we don't know about
Right.
this thing, right?
like
There's a lot of-
you would have to
yeah.
rethink the mod community in general. Like, how would you develop a mod if you don't have the data on your computer?
You realize,
right?
You could say that, but I mean, like, we realize there are also communities that don't embrace modding, such as Blizzard.
This is true.
They
That's
do
true,
not. They
yeah.
just do not care for modding.
I also
do not want you to mod.
So I make two arguments. Number one, Google was founded by hackers. Like,
Yep.
like we're not talking malicious hackers. Like hacker
Yeah.
just means
People
know,
don't. Yeah,
the
the
technical
traditional
term.
meaning of hacker was not to
Yeah.
be
Right.
malicious. Yeah.
No,
Right.
And then number two, I think that like for all we know, you might be able to manipulate your data if they let you. Like for
Yeah,
all we know,
that's
like
true.
your instance of Stadia might be like a virtual machine in the cloud that you can modify in kind of like a transient manner.
Right.
So technically, you can modify that data without changing the game for anyone else.
Yeah.
And then when you're like, it just boots up that configuration.
Like
every
if
time
they
you load
load
it.
like a set of tools every time you buy a game or something,
Yeah.
then that'd be interesting.
So honestly, the only real positive that I can see across the board that's going to be better for Stadia gaming, other than any other type, including PCs, is your multiplayer online games should be much better.
Oh, hell
in terms
yes.
of connectivity and just like processing and everything like that. It's just going to
Yeah.
be far like literally 2 steps ahead of everything.
They were specifically talking about in the release about taking games that are like 100 players, like PUBG, for instance, and
how-
being
how
able to
much better
scale it
off.
up to 1,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
And to me that makes sense.
That'd be
but
insane. Yeah.
are they
It
going
would
to
be.
like if that's their goal? I'm okay with it. But again, like my problem is that they showcase something like Odyssey, which just doesn't make any sense to me. It just it
They
really
just needed a triple game for the
I
for
get
the
it,
review.
but
yeah.
it's not.
But at the same
it's
time,
not-
just-
to me
yeah.
that shouldn't be the goal.
Remember that this is not a console intended. Like, yes,
Yeah.
I'm a kind of a Google fanboy, but whatever. This is not a console intended to
Yeah.
replace every console.
No,
it's just another
yeah.
console in the mix.
Yeah, and
they
it's
just
just-
happen to be using brand new technology, which is a big change for a lot of gamers. Like,
Yeah.
gaming as a service is not something that's taken lightly in the gaming community. Like, there's a lot of
surface of
yeah, but it's not new either.
It's
right?
not. It's not. But like,
but the-
it
but the implementation
There's a
is,
lot
like,
of
the actual-
implementation. 100% is, and it can go either way. Like it's very polarized, right?
Right.
Like you have like Steam versus whatever EA's is that everybody hates.
If
You
they
know,
can,
Origin.
but
Yeah,
to me,
Origin.
if they can corner the online multiplayer market,
Yeah.
they like not even corner, but if they can like boost it and really grab a foothold, that is where they are going to have the biggest
Yeah.
advantage.
I feel like Stadia would be actually might be pretty decent for VR, and B like
Ooh,
it might
VR
be
would be
the
interesting.
it
Yeah,
might
yeah.
be the like
But you still
that
need
might be
hardware.
what
You still
pushes
need to
us
buy
into like
peripherals.
the Ready Player One
Okay.
type infrastructure.
My God,
right?
you know what they're actually going to do? No, this is just all set up for a Google MMO. Like Google the
It could
MMO.
be.
See, we all
It
talk
could
about
be.
Ready Player One, but you and I both know it's going to be like VR chat, if anything.
Yeah.
Not
It's gonna
like
be a VR chat. It's gonna
Selling
be
wood.
like a really bad It's gonna
RuneScape
be-
2.0.
I was gonna say RuneScape, man.
It's like you're not even going to be like you watch Ready Player One. It's like, oh, I can be Tracer and the Gundam and like all this thing. It's like, no, I'm going to be Ugandan Knuckles.
Yeah.
All of us are Ugandan Knuckles.
Uganda Knuckles, and then we all just run around like. Dur, dur, dur.
And I'm like, wow, it's 2100. This is the technology we've been
Yeah,
building
yeah,
up
yeah, yeah.
towards.
Like we're like in our 80s. We're just like, Jesus, I don't understand these games anymore.
10,000 years of human history has led to this moment where
Yeah.
a kid and another
Cloud-based memes. That's all it
Memes
is.
as a service.
Yeah.
Mass.
Okay.
Meta memes.
Okay, let's talk about the last thing really quick.
I'm so excited for this, and I'm so sorry.
there was so what Nintendo, there was a Nintendo Direct that was based around indie development
Yes.
games.
Yep.
Only one of them really struck almost everybody's eye.
Oh, it's so.
if you've
exciting.
ever played Crypt of the Necrodancer, which is a great
game on its own.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a great game on its own.
hard as hell,
It's a
but-
rhythmic roguelike, essentially.
So
right?
good.
And it's a very fun game. If you've never played it, look it up. It's basically like
The music's
there's a
pretty
game. It's a dungeon explorer, but you move to the beat of the song, and
You attack to the beat of the song.
Yeah, yeah. Everything is done to the beat of the song in order to survive, really.
Yeah.
And then
There's like a kind of like a loose story.
yeah, and then Zelda or Nintendo rather partnered with the creators of Crypt of the Necrodancer. I don't remember the actual creator's name. I kind of feel bad. And they
Vancouver-based.
they have like Zelda remix songs, and you can play as Link or Zelda
Or the original Crypt.
original characters.
God, the
And-
music in the preview was
But
so
this is a
good.
DLC for Crypt of the Necrodancer that is.
Is it? I thought it was a
Zelda themed.
standalone
Or is it a
game.
standalone?
I think it's a standalone.
I think it's a
Oh,
standalone.
geez.
I'm
Okay, yeah.
95% sure it's a standalone.
Yeah.
Cadence of
And
Hyrule.
it just like it's like they it was a very short preview, but like even the music in the preview was
That's what Nintendo
so
does.
good.
It's just like we have this amazing idea that everyone's going to love. Here's like a nugget of it,
Yeah.
and then you have to wait till
Well,
release
yeah, no,
day.
dude, what they do, Nintendo,
Yeah.
what they do is they just shoot you with a bazooka. Like,
Yeah,
they shoot you with a
basically.
bazooka of awesome.
It's not even a bazooka. It's like a tiny little like
Sorry,
dart.
it's
like,
no,
a
it's
little
the
dart.
cricket. It's the
Yeah.
noisy cricket.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's just like it's tiny, but the impact is massive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that can go both ways, though. Remember, what was it, Metroid Other M? Everyone was everyone was so excited. Oh, like Team Ninja, not Team Ninja. It was the people who made Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Team Ninja, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna get them to make a story-based Metroid all about the character of Samus," and everyone was like, "Oh shit, that's gonna be awesome!" And then Other M came out, and it was awful. So,
Yeah, but okay, like
Awful.
given that like they're
but
basically
okay, yeah, Crypt of the Necrodancer. There's no way this is gonna suck though.
I don't think there's
Zelda-
any way. Like there's
Yeah.
they basically it's the same base game.
Yeah,
except
it's the same, like everything I
there's
read.
different abilities, different characters, different music. It could basically be a DLC, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, like it's totally true that it could be. Basically, what you know what, and I wouldn't be surprised because, for example, like Zelda, Nintendo properties don't really exist on Steam, for example, but they could release it as a DLC for existing. Crypt of the
that'd be
Necrodancer
nice.
people. Yeah, like you know what, pay like $15 or something.
Yeah.
like
Dude,
that.
I'd pay like $50 for this.
Yeah,
game.
no,
It
he did
sounds
that,
just for
and
the
like
soundtrack.
if you pay $30 on Switch, you get both games. Yeah, I think
That would be a really good
that'd be
thing,
great.
too, yeah.
yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be the case, but
I'd buy the
anything I
hell
was
out of it.
reading here, nothing says like DLC. It just sounds like
It's a standalone game.
No, I'm like it's definitely marketed as a
No,
standalone.
Crypt
game.
of the
like a
Necrodancer-
sequel type thing.
well. Crypt of the Necrodancer came out for PC in 2015 and was eventually ported to numerous devices, including the Nintendo Switch in 2018.
Right.
So it already exists, but I think this is going to be a separate game.
Right. So
I'm excited. as hell.
I'm really interested because Nintendo has been doing really cool things with like other studios lately. Because I mean, they had that XCOM clone that was with Ubisoft with the Rabbids, right?
Yeah, Mario vs. Rabbids, I didn't get to play, but
And
it
apparently it's
honestly
great.
looks amazing, and I'm sure it's super fun.
And like according to a lot of people, it plays better than XCOM because it's
hilarious.
Oh my
just
God.
Like, you just have to get like, you just have to be okay with the graphics, kind of,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, because like
it's
XCOM has a
kiddie.
lot of random chance, right?
Yeah.
This has way less of it.
Cool.
Okay.
And it's way more strategic. So, yeah, no, I'm interested because, like, I know Nintendo's
Oh,
had
random chance. I thought you said chance. And I
Random
was like, why are
chance.
people singing?
RNG, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Okay, so the official name of the game, is called Cadence of Hyrule. Crypt, then Crypt of the Necrodancer featuring The Legend of Zelda.
So it's a DLC, I
It
think.
might be a DLC.
That's okay.
I'm
That's
okay with it
too.
either way.
Because
I already
honestly,
own Crypt of the
yeah,
me
Necrodancer.
too.
It's a great game.
Yeah.
If this game interests you, you should buy Crypt of the Necrodancer anyway because you're gonna love it.
Yeah. It has nothing to do with just the Zelda property.
Yep.
Sorry, what were we talking about? XCOM, and then
yeah. So just
Partnerships.
Nintendo has a very long history of like partnering with other studios, to like with mixed results, right?
Well, I mean, Game Freak is its own studio.
Game Freak was its own studio.
Pokemon is not.
Retro Studios with Metroid Prime. That was their own thing. Yeah. But they've also had like Treasure, which is another Japanese studio, make Wario World.
I love Wario games in general.
WarioWare,
but you didn't play Wario World on the GameCube. That was like a 3D platformer that no one played.
I never played that, but I'm talking about like the old Game Boy Wario's.
Oh. Right? Yeah,
those were actually amazing games.
Yeah, those were made in house though. So like, but it's interesting that they're willing to go out and actually partner with studios again. And I think this is like a big product of the whole Ubisoft partnership with the XCOM game, right?
Could have been.
Yeah.
Speaking of Nintendo, they are going to be at Otafest this year again.
Come by and check out. Yeah.
So buy your tickets.
Come by, check out.
They're super fun. The guys who host it are amazing. They have little gaming stations. You can get little prizes based on doing little challenges in the games and stuff. I don't know what they're going to be previewing this year, but we're super happy to have them.
We love them. Actually, they're really great to work with.
My focus, like the thing about Nintendo that you can either love them or hate them for, but they really do know kind of like what their audience wants before they say they want it.
Yeah.
Like they're really good at just being like, like they always say that, our focus is just fun. So it's like you can criticize them, and everyone does criticize them for like their internet shit, for example. Like it's not the best. And it's maybe among the worst especially for a large gaming company to have like their online multiplayer. It's just like it's friend codes and it's not very stable and stuff like that. But on the whole, the remaining like 90% of their content is just like pure enjoyment.
Nintendo's always been really good at that.
It's I don't know. It's just it's different. It's refreshing from every other company. Yeah. That's what it really is. I'm looking forward to the Link's Awakening remake.
Yep.
Right. I know some people aren't super into it just because it's a remake, but I'm like,
whatever.
I'd play it.
It's a great game.
Link's Awakening is the one with the egg, right?
It sure is.
I think that's the only Game Boy Zelda I've played.
Oh, really?
Like the only original Game Boy, yeah.
I've always loved the top-down Game Boy versions.
Yeah. My first Zelda was Ocarina of Time, so I started by being used to like the 3D world.
Yeah.
But yeah, Link's Awakening was pretty good. Four Swords I heard was not worth talking about, but
you need to have 4 GBAs.
Jesus.
Well, no, there's like remakes. There's like I think you can have it on 3DS, for example, and it might already be on Switch too. I don't know. I haven't heard that much about the online system since. I mean, we could get David on to talk about it, but whatever. I don't know. That's the only thing that's really down about Nintendo stuff. But overall, they know how to make fun stuff, so you should definitely check out Cadence of Hyrule, along with some of the other stuff I'm sure in the announcement, but this is the one that was really fun.
I'm so excited. I can't wait.
I think that's about everything.
Yep.
We want to thank World One and Pattison Advertising for their sponsorships today. If you want to sponsor with Otafest, just contact us.
Sponsorship at otafest.com.
Wow, what an easy email to reach us
who would
at.
have thought?
Yeah.
And we will see you at Calgary Expo in 1 month's time. It's coming up real soon.
We'll have one episode in between.
Yep, we will.
So,
but we'll still see you there.
We still will.
We'll still see you there.
And I think that's pretty much it. So thank you very much for listening. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell us, how you feel about stuff. And we will see you later.
Yep. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.